Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome. No, I'm not asleep. I'm here. Sorry, guys. It took me a minute to get my coffee going and everything. I just got to make sure everything's well in working order. I'm here. I'm here. I'm only about 5 minutes late. I do apologize. Well, 6 minutes late. I do apologize. Welcome, everybody. Y'all, I am still recovering from the Diddy trial coverage. I don't know about you guys, but I am still recovering. Now, I have these Diddy transcripts for the sentencing. We're definitely going to be going live over them tomorrow, not tonight because I'm exhausted still. So I figured we could just go a little bit over some of the stuff that's going on the internet in terms of updates, social media updates. And I say social media updates because honestly, like there hasn't been any law enforcement updates or uh real updates about the Celeste Rivas situation and whatnot. Now I am a little bit confused, I'm being honest with you guys, because initially I heard that there was supposed to be like a service today, and then I'm hearing otherwise. And so I have been trying to understand, well, what is going on? Is there a service? Is there not a service? What is happening? We're getting contradictory information as far as this goes. If you guys remember, the family did have a GoFundMe. So when I heard this, I was like, okay, so this is going to be like especially for the amount that they were raising, that this would be like a big service and stuff like that for everybody. But even that's been a little bit questionable. We're going to talk about that. Then there's rumors that David has been cleared by LAPD. I haven't seen a statement unless you guys, I mean, you guys are very good at letting me know, hey, there's a statement that's been out there, but yeah. I don't know. You said the GoFundMe rights tomorrow. Very weird, says Robin. Yeah, we could look at that. So the service might be tomorrow. A lot of people assumed it was today, which so did I. That is odd. Not to have a service after the GoFundMe. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of pending questions. I guess we will find out. And then yesterday, I dropped a video of some person who, some people have said, well, he debunked that. He's a streamer. He does this for shock value. This real, not real bodyguard or something. His name is Marky. Mark, he is not Marky Mark and the Funky Bench, because it's not, you don't even look like that. He's some guy named Marky who allegedly was this, like, I don't know, security. People have said, well, no, he's not. That's been debunked. He does this for shock value, as if it's okay to make fun and say that, like, I somehow had something to do with the death. I buried the body of a 14-year-old child. I did this and that and the other. Well, he is no funky bunch. He's a bunch, but not funky. Like, well, maybe he's both. I don't know. Anyways, let's get it together, guys. Let's get it together. So let's start with hold up, y'all, because I got a lot of people out there. Give me one sec. Okay, let's start with this. I have a couple of bookmarks that I want to review with you guys on X, and we're going to do that right now. Now, like I said, I feel just off about the situation. Why don't we start with SF Investigates? Well, let's do this actually before we start with SF Investigates. And again, shout out to him because he's been really bringing some clarity to the situation. Lauren Conlon on her Twitter X page. Okay, let's start right there. She writes, adding to the confusion of Celeste Rivas Hernandez service scheduled for today or tomorrow per the GoFundMe. Her death certificate states that her body was released to the Queen of Heaven mortuary. Their website doesn't have any information about a service for Celeste on October 5th, 4th or 5th. I found the cell of a family member on an old missing flyer and texted them to ask if perhaps the service was closed to only family. No response yet. Everything appears to be so strange when it comes to this tragic case. Poor Celeste. I hope she is honored as she deserves to be. So they put the information. So, like, typically the website, some websites, it depends, will have like the name of the person who they're having a service for. Her name is not appearing for the funeral home that received her remains, her body. So Queen of Heaven is the one. Nothing. Well, excuse me, not Queen of Heaven. What was it? Queen of Heaven. That's right. Queen of Heaven mortuary. Um, These are the service. This is October 4th. And this is what's been listed. Salvador Quinteros Saías. Those are the people that are, at least the person that's having a service and mass, because it's Catholic, and mass ceremony on the 4th. They don't have a Rivas, they don't have a Celeste Hernandez, they don't have any of that. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm thinking the same too, Jennifer. Maybe they don't like, maybe they kind of like, maybe they wanted a private service, because at this point they are, people are blaming the parents, and to a certain degree, I would be worried, if I was, I don't want to get attacked. I don't want to get target. But to be fair, this is just my opinion, okay? Y'all don't have to agree with my opinion, but this is my opinion. If I am asking for public support and help, I think the public deserves a level of transparency, right? So even though I am holding I could have a private service and stuff like that or whatever, but if I'm asking for a GoFundMe or stuff like that or money, I would think that there would be like some kind of like, allowing the public to say, they pay their last respects, or at least, say whatever they want to say. Does that make sense? That's where it kind of gets a little bit of like, it's kind of like this. It's like people that will ask for money, whether it's like they're going through hospital bills and stuff like that. I think it's appropriate to you, if you're asking money from the public, that you kind of show maybe where the funds are going, or like not even show, but just tell them, or at least allow them to allow them to pay their last respects. That's just my opinion. Y'all are entitled to yours. Let me know. Tash L, thank you so much for becoming a member at Unsolved Amy. Just gifted. Unsolved Amy Boston just gifted 5 memberships. Make sure you guys put some hearts in the chat. If you've been gifted. Thank you guys for supporting the channel. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. You think it seems fishy? He said, if my baby was bones, I wouldn't, says Aurora. Well, I mean, I think it's not so much like, it doesn't have to be an open casket, because that's not even, I don't even think that they're allowed to do that at this point, given that she was in such advanced state of decomposition, right? Closed casket, allowing people, maybe not so much allowing them inside, but maybe like allowing them, I don't know, like to a park, that something like that, where people can release balloons, something like that, so that people feel that they are allowed to pay their last respects, if that makes sense. That's it. That's all. I said, well, that's just a POV, just changed my opinion. Oh, well, I agree with you. And like I said, anybody is entitled. Nowadays, yes. I had a friend, is a, during, she didn't, it wasn't of COVID. She passed away of something else. Um, she's passed away in her sleep, and it was not COVID related, but it was during COVID time. So there wasn't a lot of people that were allowed in the service, right? Um, it was live stream for a lot of us to watch. So, and I've never in my life have been to a live stream. Like a live stream service is different, right? I have unfortunately attended funerals of kids. Like I hate that. I just, because nobody wants to think of it that way, but I have. But it just depends on the situation and the cause of death and everything. But sometimes you can live stream a memorial service, right? And her body doesn't have to be there, but allowing the people that have supported, with anything, to have a goodbye opportunity, if that makes sense. That's just my thought on that. It's going to be private. She was so messed up when she's found. Well, she doesn't have to be open casket. What, honey? Oh, hold up, y'all. Um, you said, how can anyone blame the parents? Even if it's negligence, it's horrific. Yeah, and I think maybe that's what it is that, okay, I want you guys to put yourselves, and I know a lot of people have a hard time because that nobody wants to be in this position, but like, I wouldn't want to wish this on anybody, right? Like, at all, to be the parent of a child that passed away, however way she passed away, or that she was found in a trunk of a Tesla, whatever it may be, right? But people are, and I think that for me, it's like, We don't know what the investigation looks like. We don't know what happened yet, right? Now, what we do know is that she had a difficult home life. We can say that because she ran away a couple times, but maybe there were outside influences to that. It's not always the home life, right? So you kind of have to kind of weigh that in. Like, how are you receiving this information and what are you making of it? Um, it's very easy for us to judge, right? Outside. I do it all the time. I'm not always correct, but it's very easy for us to judge. But I think it's okay to just maybe have an idea or a thought about, how you how you feel about this. I do have questions. So if today was the service, or maybe it wasn't, maybe it's for tomorrow, then maybe tomorrow it might be different. Maybe they'll allow people to release balloons or something like that. You know what I mean? You said it's so weird how the investigation went cold so quickly. Well, link up with Danny. Did it go cold? That's what I don't know. See, I'm noticing that has he been formally cleared from David? Has he been formally cleared from the investigation? Do we know that he's been formally cleared? Because I did hear a lot of people say that he has been, and I'm just like, well, I haven't seen anything. It's still an ongoing investigation, right? Her GoFundMe used to say help us bury Celeste now. They changed the title to say help Celeste Rivas family. Ah, that's interesting, Steeler. There are comments online saying other girls associated with David are missing. Is there a possibility element of a serial with this guy? I'm starting to wonder. Who else is missing? Shh. Who else? Associated with him? Who? Oh, you said Ticket TV did? Maybe he saw something. I don't know. I haven't seen anything directly from law enforcement. I'm still waiting on a presser. Maybe he did. I don't know. She hadn't lived with her family for over a year and a half. Why is her family asking for money other than her final expenses? Um, that's a great question. Maybe for now. How much was it at 30,000 or was it more? You said you would think that if he had been cleared, then wouldn't have been lawyered up. He is lawyered up. He's got a lawyer. I know it's what's her name, Blaine Burke or something like that. Blaine Burke represented, and by the way, thank you so much, Bev, for the 4.99, my love. Shout out to you. Blaine Burke she represented Harvey Weinstein. She represented Harvey Weinstein. I want to say Danny Masterson at some point. I'm not really sure. See, and I do wonder whether she's been cremated. That's when I'm wondering whether they decided that because Blair Burke, not Blaine Burke. Sorry about that, y'all. I'm still recovering from the Diddy trial. Okay, he's not cleared at all. I don't think, not officially, not officially, but I haven't heard anything. They accepted $24,000 in donations, and I remember sharing that GoFundMe. Like I said, mm, well, I liked Ticket TV, so what we're not going to do is say anything wrong about Ticket TV. I'm just saying I like Ticket TV. You guys are entitled to your opinion. Maybe he saw something. I'm not really sure. I could see the attorney saying charge D4 or clear in a statement. I could see the attorney saying that too. That's what I'm saying. It's like maybe he has been, we don't know. Maybe we're still waiting for more formal statements. They're not going to charge anybody or anything like that. Yeah, the goal is his lawyer is also founder of TMZ, Blair Burke. So they got the 25,000. So what if maybe they cremated her? Maybe that's what they did. Maybe that's what happened now at this point. Anyways, let me stop. Okay, so maybe the service is tomorrow. That's very well likely the case. We don't know. But in the death certificate, they did release the remains to another person, which I think, or excuse me, to a funeral home, which I think is important to kind of note. Now, even SF Investigates went deeper with this situation, um, with everything. Oh, hold up. Yeah, shout out to I like Ticket TV a lot. That's why I'm like, yeah, I don't like it when people come over here, saying something off about another creator. I just don't support that. I really do my best not to. I know sometimes people will say the most, and you guys are entitled to your opinion, but not this channel. Do you think CC has a part in this case? Who's CC? You guys keep saying CC. Who's CC? She did not found TMZ. It was founded by Harvey Levin and Jim. Yeah, who I thought there was another person in there in the mix that founded TMZ. Anyways, so and Brandon, thank you so much for the 2. David, I hate that name. Why would you be for VD? LOL. Says Brandon. I don't know. And by the way, let me just say this, guys. I've noticed this too. So like yesterday when I did my video in the late night, there are people who support David like 1000%. So they are literally putting out misleading information to kind of get us to argue with each other or something. Let me tell you, I don't know the guy. I don't know his music. I can't say that I followed him or anything like that. All right. I'm not into romantic homicides or any of that stuff. Look, to each his own. What I'm concerned is the true crime aspect of this case. Okay. That's what I'm concerned about. So if you're a fan stand of that and you're willfully here trying to deflect, thank you, Aurora, trying to like troll, you're gonna get blocked or you just gonna get put on timeout indefinitely, whatever it may be. It's too much. You said, I know, right? I'm a millennial. We're millennials. Some of us aren't even from that generation. We're more concerned about the true crime aspect of this. Celeste could have been my child, if that makes sense. If that makes sense. She could have been my child. So that's why I'm more concerned about that. I don't care about the music. I do not care about the artistry. Let me be very perfectly clear. I don't care. I don't care. Okay. We here for the information. Okay. Thank you. Exactly. I'm wondering why the girls on the balcony didn't come out and say that that was her if it wasn't Celeste, says Reagan. Oof. Okay. Let's get it together, guys. So SF did a segment where and I did a little video of it, where he's walking through the neighborhood, letting us know about kind of where the Tesla was at. I think he said that the Tesla was parked 150 feet, something to that effect. He also did a segment on Fox. Let's get into that.
Well, Laura, it was last month that gruesome discovery was made at this tow yard. Now we're hearing from a private investigator and what might have happened in the days leading up to that moment. Our first look at where R&B singer David's black Tesla was towed from only days before Celeste Hernandez's body was found decomposed in the car's trunk.
The car almost looks like it's been off road out in the desert or something. It's the wheel, wells are all beat up. There's a huge dent in the back.
Private investigator Steve Fisher obtained these images of the black Tesla from where it was towed and impounded from in Hollywood Hills, covered in dust.
Said a family member had contact with Celeste by text, and that was sometime in early July. It's tragic to think that she was sitting in the front of that Tesla decomposing that whole time. But
according to Fisher, the initial call made for the abandoned car came in August 26th. Police inspected and ticketed it the 27th, cited it again September 3rd before it was towed on the 5th. 3 days later, workers...
The car wasn't that far away from where the house is at. 150 feet, guys. It's being speculated that there was a gym. Well, we know that there was a red Tesla inside of the garage and there were other maybe equipment or whatnot. This is why he didn't park it in the garage. It is a 3-car garage. When you're actually getting like real close up in that area where Steve Fisher is walking, it does kind of give you a different perspective. It is a neighborhood street, but it's a pretty busy street. Cars are coming and going. So yeah, if you are living in that area, you're going to notice when a car has not been moved for X amount of time. You're going to notice it, right? It's going to sit there. Now it sounds like let me put you on timeout, my love. Please don't promote any other fake brothers. I'm gonna, clout chase out of this moment, brothers. We already talked about it. I don't want that name here. Matter of fact, I don't want that name so much so that I'm going to make sure that it gets blocked as a word. So when the mods see it, they just block it. Okay. Let me see. He should have called himself Fat Head, not Fat So. Okay. Get it together. Let's see.
At Hollywood Tow smelled an unusual odor and discovered Hernandez's body in the car's trunk.
I mean, what do you think might have happened?
Could have been an overdose, and they panicked and hid her body, or because they probably didn't want to expose the relation. They're worried about exposing the relationship between him and a minor.
Is it possible? And that's what I'm thinking too. That's why, how are you, if David is quote unquote clear, or he has been clear, say he didn't have anything to do with her death, but he didn't want that relationship to have been exposed, which has been another theory that we've had. A lot of us had said we have this other theory. Is it possible that, that she died, overdose, whatever it may be? We're still waiting on the toxicology. We're still waiting on that testing. Okay. She passed away and then he freaked out and he just put her in the trunk. Or somebody else close to him put her in the trunk, which then would still be a crime, right? It's like a misdemeanor, according to Steve Fisher. Like, that's crazy. I don't know, you guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments.
And as unbelievable as it sounds, concealment of a body is a misdemeanor in California.
According to Fisher, the gruesome discovery was made the day before Hernandez's 15th birthday. The young teen reportedly in a relationship with the 20-year-old David for the last year or so. The singer has since canceled his tour, while LAPD says the girl's cause of death hasn't been determined. Adding as such, it remains unclear whether there is any criminal culpability beyond the concealment of her body.
And I understand that.
I don't think that necessarily clears him. And so then I was looking at other people online to figure out, well, how are they framing this? What are they saying? Right? How are they framing this? Concealing a body. What are we doing here? Somebody said on Twitter, I don't understand why people keep saying today David is not a suspect. Well, it's true that he hasn't been named as a suspect or a POI. It's not because law enforcement has proved he has no involvement. It's because investigators cannot yet determine what happened to Celeste. Her autopsy was deferred. There's a difference. Look at this. A deferred autopsy means they're waiting on further testing before they can establish the exact cause and manner of death. Until those results come back, no one has been officially named a suspect. But it's just importantly, hold up, y'all. Okay, sorry about that. I really like this person, how they broke it down. Their name is Legacy on Twitter. Said a deferred autopsy means they're waiting on further testing before they can establish the exact cause and manner of death. Until those results come back, no one has been officially named a suspect. But just as importantly, no one has been cleared either. Okay, at this stage, authorities simply don't know what happened to Celeste. What we do know is this: her body was deliberately concealed inside the Tesla. That fact alone shows something happened. Someone didn't want her to be found. The question is why? What happened to Celeste before she was discovered? And who tried to keep it hidden? That is the question. Look at it, and they highlight this, and I've read this statement before. As such, it remains unclear whether there is any criminal culpability beyond the concealment of her body. Okay? Yep. You're right. They haven't confirmed anything yet. So outside, she could have died. If let's just say that it was an OD. She OD'd. She could have been brought to the hospital. He could have dropped her off there. He could have been like, she's a runaway. I found her. I don't know. Like, let's say it was David. She was brought to the hospital and I found her. I don't know. The neighbor literally said they never, hold up, what did you say? They never seen cops at their house. Really, Godfather? Who said that? Which neighbor? I feel like we get a lot of conflicting information about Celeste. We don't know her, right? We don't know her. We don't know that child. We didn't know her. But like yesterday when I talked a little bit about Ashley Banfield's reporting The Secret Life of Celeste, I'm like, the girl was 14. What secret life is a 14-year-old going to have? Can you send it to me, Godfather, on my email if you can? Completely up to you. Or you could put the name of it on the chat and I'll look for it. It's a lot of conflicting info. Been many different stories going around, right? First is that she was a sweet child. Then it was like, well, no, she was acting up. And then you got this video where she's arguing with the Sureños. Never seen the neighbor's name, but allegedly they said her and David were quiet. I did hear that too, Naturally Thick. I did. You're highly naive about teens today. Probably. Yeah. I mean, I do have like, a teenage son and, one that's, soon in a couple of years will be another teenager and then a younger child. So yeah, maybe I am naive. Please teach me. Thank you. And by the way, I worked in government and I worked with youth for many years. Please teach me. Maybe I don't know. The neighbors only say that she never saw any police come over. Ooh. At David's house, they said it was a party, never a party or cops. Maybe that's what they meant, right, Tennessee? Let's see. I know, naive how. Let's see. Why are non-mods allowed to type all caps, but I'm not? The mods are allowed to type caps when they're trying to get my attention or when they're trying to get everybody's attention. That is just a rule that we have in the chat because we've had people type all caps way too much and it just throws down the chat. Does that make sense? That's why we don't have it. Let's see. I'm wondering if someone put her in the trunk and then couldn't find the key card to move on. It was found in the gutter, right? Well, and that's the thing. It's like the key card. Remember when that was the thing where like, well, did somebody plant it or what? And I'm always naive about things all the time because it's like, well, not even naive. It's just like, just push back on a little bit because I don't know if people are planting things. I've seen this done in cases on, that YouTubers are covering. People plant things to make a story. That's why it's so hard. Does that make sense? If the cops had been there, SF would have gotten the reports. We know that they were at her parents 11 times this year. That we know for sure. Ooh. The cheap tree air freshener in his car settled well. Don't settle well with me. Nunya bees. That's what I was saying too. And so did SF said the same thing. It was placed by someone who moved her body around to conceal the smell. Just saying, it's very much weird. And thank you so much, Nunya, for the $5. Thank you. Okay. Let's get it together, guys. Let's get it together. Sidebar did a review of this as well. But then again, it goes back to no evidence in Celeste's case, despite David Link, attorney says. No evidence. What does Banfield or News Nation or TMZ know that now we're changing the narrative about there's no evidence or link or maybe there is, I don't know, between David and Celeste. I feel like every day I get something new that's conflicting from 2 days ago. I'm just saying.
What is David doing as we speak, especially now that we know Blair Burke is on the team?
He better be shutting his mouth. He better be absolutely quiet. He better be at home, wherever he is, doing nothing, not going anywhere, not talking to anybody, and just doing everything that she tells him to do, which is just sit there until I tell you what to do.
But what about the full download? Is this attorney saying, David, I need to know every single movement? Or is this attorney saying, don't tell me, I don't want to know, I just need to do my job?
Personally, I never ask until I need to, because that's not the point. The question is, what is the evidence that they have? What is the evidence that's out there? And I don't ever want to, there may be something that my client says that isn't in the realm of evidence, not because that they're guilty, A lot of times I have clients who tell me, I wasn't there, I didn't do this. And I say, hold on, I don't even want to know, because within the facts that they are giving to me, this already is not provable. So I don't want you to clutter my brain with what they have, because already within this universe, I can defeat these charges. So don't clutter my brain. I'm working on what the evidence is, because they have to prove it beyond a reasonable doubt. And if they can't, that's all I need.
Assuming that that's what we're looking at, though, Godfather, that's my email, right? Email me there. You can email me there. Wonder about what the thoughts are in him trolling on videos about Celeste. This is crazy, man.
So do you think it's possible that, I mean, here we are going on a month, right? And radio silence from the LAPD, no suggestion that this guy is a suspect or a person of interest. Is it a tactic to...
Guys, I think they know who and what happened exactly. That's why they're radio silent. I think they know. You see how quickly they released that body? You see how quickly that house is back on the market for people to rent it? I think they already know. So no, they're quiet on purpose, right? Now, there's two things I want to talk about. There was an arrest, and people were, while I was covering the Diddy trial, people were tagging me about, hey, there was an arrest on the other body, but people kept thinking that this was a Celeste. No. The arrest was on that second body that was also found in the trunk of a car, not related to this, okay? So that people are aware. And I was like, I was not going to go, guys, I was live on Diddy, so we had to report that. But people were going crazy on that situation. They're saying, hey, you got to get on it. I'm like, no, that's a whole separate case. But it is a weird case that it happened all like in one day. It was so weird. That's a confusion with me as a nurse. 3 days, you can start smelling. If it's been a month, we would smell long ago. Well, Tennessee, and especially you're in a car in those conditions and the weather and stuff like that. I think she died in July, since family last time getting the text was July. It sounds like it. This lawyer just defends the criminals, not the victims. The way she said David's been with her doesn't mean anything, right, Sandra? A criminal defense attorney is going to do what they do, right? That's what they're going to do. We all have to be cautious about the things that we say and do. Now, maybe and I say this still, I said, maybe if somebody dies, right? Like, I'm just thinking in my mind, if you've ever been through a thing where somebody dies in front of you, or like, somebody's dying or whatever, the last thing you're going to do, and then they die, is conceal their body. That's my thought, right? That to me shows culpability of some kind. Not necessarily of her death, but it could be of whatever relationship was going on. So maybe he got nervous and he was like, let me do something with this. But the fact that, like, the other videos that come out of that, if she's really been gone, say for a couple weeks, he's going on social media like nothing's going on. If this was a quote unquote somebody that he was talking to or courting, did he ever text her back? What did the communication stop? Who in their right mind would just sit there and allow, like, how does your conscience work? Knowing that, oh man, she died and she was here, but I'm more worried about myself. I wouldn't be able to go live. I wouldn't be able to talk. That's just how I see this. That's culpability to me of at least knowing her and not doing anything about it.
Keep things quiet and allow the target to let his guard down and think that he's skating and is now free to roam about the cabin and talk to anyone he wants.
I mean, you never know why they're doing what they're doing. You never know what the state of their investigation is. But I think the LAPD, especially in cases like this, where you've had these cases long time ago where you find these women dismembered in horrible situations, and the LAPD just really did not know what to do with these investigations. I think that their PR and their attorneys are telling them to be quiet too. They just don't have enough information to give any kind of information out into the public. So I think that if you're an attorney for the LAPD, if you're an attorney for the city of Los Angeles, Joyce, you say you guys say absolutely nothing. You say nothing until you know exactly what's happening. And in this case, I cannot imagine that there's ever going to be a point where we know exactly what happened.
They're not going to say anything. Queen Liz, thank you so much for this $10. Love you, Rabbit. Thank you for all of your coverage on these different things. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Queen Liz. Thank you. And Adele, thank you so much for this super sticker, and you as well, OX Min. I hope I'm reading your name right, love. Thank you guys for your support. I really do appreciate it. Thank you. Did anyone see the person Nancy interviewed and showed a comparison of his daughter sitting inside the frunk? It was crazy to see. No, Flojo, Nancy Grace did that. Flojo TV, she did that. Did anyone see Nancy Grace interview and show a person? She did that on her show. Did she make them get in the trunk or in the frunk? Please let me know, because we'll find that video right now. I had not seen that. Oh my God.
I'll say you don't usually see a Tesla like this as beat up as it is. It's marked all over the spoiler with marks, white marks, and it's got a big dent in it. You don't typically see it sitting in a Hollywood Hills neighborhood that has like super expensive topiaries right beside it. It's just sort of a confounding sight. But I am curious about the toxicology. Do you think that that's the linchpin to all of this, that either they're waiting on the toxicology still weeks and weeks later, or they have every ability to put it at the front of the line when it's a high profile case?
I think they have the ability to rush it. They have the ability to put it to the front of the line, absolutely. But again, I think the more information the LAPD puts out piecemeal, the worse it is for them. They just absolutely should not be doing that. They would be insane to give out pieces of information.
Yeah, unless the LAPD doesn't have any way to go, they'll ask for the public's help. Let me tell you something about it, and this is not just the LAPD, it's any police force. Notice if anybody's ever followed any true crime cases, what do? When they're literally stuck on something, they'll ask for the public's help. We're asking the public. They might have already had the information that they need, but maybe they need the public to dig into something, which we do, and then they'll then go after and say, well, this is what we have. We were able to find this. Yes, this is a thing. When LAPD is tight-lipped about something, they don't need anybody. They're literally already got their case in the bag or whatever they're going to do next.
When they don't have an entire theory of prosecution.
Mm-hmm.
Big question here. There's two issues, and not the least of which is that this is an underage girl. Did not make her 15th birthday. She spent it rotting in that trunk. Is it possible that there'll be no charges at all in this case? No murder, no sex charges, no underage crimes with children? Like, what do you see coming out of this at the very least?
What is the evidence that we have that any crime occurred? Well,
what is the evidence that we have that any crime occurred between David and Celeste? Not your opinion, not your feelings, not my feelings, because trust me, my feelings, I would be very upset if she was my daughter, right? Not my opinion, not my feelings. What evidence do we have? What evidence do we have? If we don't have anything, it's not a text message, even though they're very revealing, but it depends the way sometimes the younger kids talk. They talk in codes. And so is it going to stand within trial? What is that going to look like? Yeah. What evidence do we have that a crime occurred between Celeste and David so far, besides the fact that she was found in a trunk? That's what the real question is.
We know that there's a body in a trunk,
Mm-hmm.
but what evidence do we have connecting David to any actual crime? She told her friends that he was that they were in a relationship. What does that mean? She left her house. That was a very, very troubled situation. How do we know that he had anything to do with that? There's no evidence against this man for any crime that I can see.
Y'all see that? And believe it or not, I kind of wonder about this. I was like, well, maybe this is why they're like, well, we're going to wait for the toxicology. David, my understanding is that the dad is a lawyer. Okay. I'm pretty sure then he's got his representation. I'm pretty sure that David will be taken care of on the legal side of things. Right. But if he spent some time with her, or maybe he was helping her, or she was a runaway, and his only crime was that we know on paper was concealing her body, he's going to get off on a misdemeanor. Right? Now, is that going to be good for his career? I think his career's done. Even if he does get clear of everything, I think his career's done, guys. And I mean, what do you guys think?
How about witnesses? How about witnesses? Because the friends of David spoke with TMZ and they all held out that they thought that they were a couple. They held themselves out as a couple. She said that she was 19 and a college kid and they were absolutely romantic.
Proving my point. If he thought that she was overage, then it's not a crime. But what does?
Oh, that's not true. Ignorance
is
of the law.
romantic?
You can't have
Thank
a
you.
relationship with an underage girl and say, well, she told me she was 19.
Let me say, even though Ashley Banfield drives me a little bit crazy, I love it when she pushes back. I got the video on Nancy Grace, guys. Thank you so much for the email. We're going to watch a little segment of the Nancy Grace. But I agree. Ignorance of the law. And this is a lawyer who's telling you, well, he didn't know. No. Ignorance of the law does not mean that it absolves you of any kind of culpability or holding you accountable to things. I'm glad that she did that. Night Charm, thank you so much for the 199, my love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, Mia, probably that might be the case. Did he meet her to groom her? We don't know. Did he meet her? They're going to need a paper trail of it. That's what I'm trying to tell you. They're going to have to look at her cell phone, his cell phone. They're going to have to figure out how to connect these two. And if they can't, then what can they pin on David? Other than if she died and then he concealed her body in the trunk. That's it. Thank you. Ignorance is not a defense. Absolutely. And this is not, listen, that's just giving you guys there. In my heart, I would love for there to be evidence. I would love for people to be held responsible. That's what I want. Because somebody did this.
19.
Hire me if that ever happens. Because I think you can.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our News Nation.
Hold up.
That's not true. Ignorance of the law. You can't have a relationship with an underage girl and say, well, she told me she was 19.
Hire me if that ever happens. Because I think you can.
Thank you for watching.
That was weird. Hire me if that ever happens. That was so weird. Okay. She handled that. I don't agree with Banfield all the time, but she really did handle it. I'm like, what kind of, hire me if that, do you have children? Something is like, y'all have children? Because I don't know. I don't know, girl. The way she handled that, I was like, hire me if it does. What's that supposed to mean? Okay. Whatever, girl. Hey, girl, thank you so much for being a member for 2 months. Thanks for always fighting and searching for the truth. I try my best, my love. I don't always get it right, but I try my best, okay? And again, you guys are entitled to your opinion. You know, y'all are amazing. I just, I do things a little bit different here. I look at different things, and sometimes we speculate, and I'll tell you if I'm speculating, but, at this point, we just don't have enough, Mama Jax, thank you so much for the 199. Thank you, my love. Yeah, Cheeks, right. Isn't that a diabolical use of the law degree? Well, even the devil needs a lawyer. What was that one movie, The Devil's Advocate? Weren't they lawyers? Keanu Reeves and my favorite actor, Al Pacino. That was an interesting movie. Okay, so you guys were telling me about Nancy Grace, and they put somebody in the trunk of a car. The frunk?
Trunk is open, or the front trunk, they call it the frunk, and there's a small area in front of in the front of the car there, in the front, that you can put baggages or groceries. That's what I use it for.
Baggage or groceries is not a big area, guys. I mean, look at how small. I don't know about you guys. That looks small to me. Oh my God.
But in this case, her body was found inside the frunk of the Tesla. It's a very small area, and you can see some of the pictures. This is my daughter here.
Who is
in
that?
Upright.
That's your reenact. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh my
That's
God.
my daughter. She's about 100 pounds. So
she's 100 pounds. The Celeste her remains were like 70 pounds at this point, guys.
It's pretty tight in there for her. But if the victim in this case, with Celeste, she's already deceased, they're more foldable and bendable at that point.
Oh my God.
Scott Eicher, how tall is your daughter?
5'2", 100 pounds.
Okay. That's
5'2", 100 pounds. She was like 70, 71. How tall was she? How do we know? What model are they showing on this video? Was it a Y? Not correct. X? Is that, you know what, Karen? They're not even saying. That's a great question, because I think one of the models is bigger than the other one. It's a bit grim. I'm like, I don't know if I would have reenacted this, but just my thought. 2 different front sizes. Yeah, I know, right? Nancy always gets things wrong. Can't check facts. Yeah, I don't know about this. Ridiculous how this case is going. Celeste's parents don't give a fuck about her. Why she, the thing is too, is like, with the parents, with Celeste's parents, I do wonder, because this is going to be a thing where, and y'all are entitled to your opinion, but something's going to have to happen in terms of the parents. They're probably never going to give a statement. They're probably very worried about any kind of backlash that they get and everything. And what about rigor mortis? Well, when did that settle in? Did she die before she was in the trunk? In the frunk? Did she die after? Like, where did she die? If she was I don't know, man. Hold up.
generally the same size as Celeste, generally speaking. Let's see that shot again. We also know that Celeste's body was in a bag, which that's a whole nother can of worms for Jeffrey Gentry, our blood pattern analyst. But back to Scott Eicher regarding the Tesla. Celeste was dismembered. Okay. Which means that although we don't know the specifics,
I want you guys to remember who is saying dismembered. Shout out to Tear Talks. I think he was in the chat earlier. True Crime Tear Talks. He did a video where he kind of broke it down for us, because that was the question. It's like, I personally feel like everybody's being told something different about the dismemberment. They're still saying dismemberment. I want people to remember this, because there is a clear debate about the dismemberment or not situation here. But you know what? Nancy Grace is repeating it. TMZ is still saying it. News Nation is somewhat saying it. Keep that in mind. Dismemberment, ain't it a different kind of crime too? We talked about this. It's one thing to hide a body. It's a different thing to dismember a body. I think it's a whole separate charge. So that's why we have to make sure we get the information accurate when it comes to this. Dismemberment is a different kind of charge, guys. It's a different kind of charge. Yes, it could be abuse of a corpse. Let me see something. I'm going to see if I can bring up California. And I know we brought it up before, because it's an aggravated, pretty sure it's a felony offense. Hold up. Yep, it's California code for dismembering a human body falls under the crime of mayhem. An aggravated mayhem. Mayhem involves maliciously depriving someone of a body part, while aggravated mayhem involves intentionally causing permanent disability or disfigurement, or depriving someone of a limb, organ, or a member of their body. Okay? Now hold up. Dismemberment. Let me see. California dismemberment after death. That's different. That's different. So it's, willfully dismembering or mutilating a human corpse is a felony in California. So when these reporters, and I'll put myself in there too, because I'm not a reporter and I'm not I'm a YouTuber. Okay. Very, very different. When you're saying dismemberment of a body, okay, of a corpse, any of that, that is a felony offense in California. So when people are talking about, listen to how Steve is explaining. That's why I love SF Investigates. Listen to how he's explaining things. He says, listen, hiding a body is a misdemeanor. He also explained that if you dismember a body, that is a felony, or mutilating a human corpse is a felony. That's what it is. So when they say this, they're talking about 2 different crimes, guys. This is why I'm like, when Banfield, when Nancy Grace, when TMC continuously repeats the dismemberment of a body, they're literally talking about a separate felony offense. So that's why I'm like, oh, this is crazy. I keep hearing it, but we don't know. Look at this. Thank you, Foxy. Disarticulated from decomp looking dismembered. I just want to make sure that we distinguish that. And I'm sure at some point we're going to get more information about this. But if it was, and I get it on my comments, I got it on my comments yesterday in the video, they were like, well, her body was everywhere. Then she did, and I'm like, y'all, like, do we know? I could tell you for a fact that the statement, because I have it in the email, the statement from the coroner's office did not say dismemberment. That's a felony offense. So if he, quote unquote, he, David, or whoever dismembered her, that would be not only concealing, but dismemberment of a body. And that's a felony offense. Decomp temperatures will do that. That's right, Angel. And thank you, Foxy Amazon. Thank you. So I just want to, like, that's why I'm like, it matters. Because people in my comments have said, well, why does it matter? It matters because you're talking about a felony. It's a whole separate charge. Completely. But I want to make sure that y'all understand so that people will start changing the narrative. And what I mean by people is these bigger mainstream media personalities are going to start changing their narrative about how they're reporting this when they realize maybe she wasn't. Or if she was, then whoever did it is facing a felony. Right?
Of the dismemberment yet. That could have made it much
Hold up.
easy.
Hold up. Go back.
Scott Eicher, how tall is your daughter?
5'2", 100 pounds.
Okay, that's generally the same size as Celeste, generally speaking. Let's see that shot again. We also know that Celeste's body was in a bag, which that's a whole nother can of worms for Jeffrey Gentry, our blood pattern analyst. But back to Scott Eicher regarding the Tesla. Celeste was dismembered. Okay. Which means that although we don't know the specifics of the dismemberment yet, that could have made it much easier to put her body in the trunk since she was dismembered.
I totally
what were
agree
you
with
saying about the degree of rigor or livor mortis? What were you saying about that?
Yeah, as I said, if she's dead, she's more foldable or manipulable. Her body so could fit into that small area of the trunk of the Tesla. And there's numerous cameras all around that. I also,
Scott Eicher, I'm curious about that USB that goes into the Tesla that does all the recording, and the recordings are stored on the USB. Would the car start if someone had removed the USB?
Yes, it will. It will start, and it's just not going to save any of the data, the recordings from the cameras. The USB is really just there to save the pictures and the recordings.
Also, Scott, it's almost a 360-degree video of the surroundings of the car. What all would the cameras catch?
They catch numerous aspects, front, back, and side views of the camera. And this is me reenacting, bringing a bag to the front of the car, opening the hood, placing that bag into that frunk area.
He really got a bag. He really reenacted this. Lord have mercy, their science.
Area, that little space that we saw earlier, and then showing, as you can see, that's the dash camera in front of the car and right by the mirror.
Assuming that the service is being paid for, right? Like you would need it to be paid. You need it to be in working condition. Yeah, that is crazy work, y'all. I didn't know that they did all this. Tanya, thank you so much for this. Intimate partner homicides make up a large share of women murders in the U.S. Roughly 1 in 3 women killed are killed by intimate partner violence. 33% statistically. It's Tanya. You know what the problem is that I have? I know he ain't playing. The problem is that I have with even thinking about it this way. It's because it's a child, right? So for us, it's like kind of hard to think that a child would be an intimate partner. very likely true. I agree with the statistics. I just wonder, that's just we don't know, right? Damn. It's just a sad situation. And I mean, if they do, if he did something to her, if he did, then I hope that, things get cleared up. But again, the narrative is changing. They're saying that at least the people that I know, I haven't heard it directly from law enforcement or there being a statement that he won't be charged, but that's been the rumor. So I don't blame anybody for reporting that. I mean, I heard the same thing too, that he was not going to be held accountable for anything. I don't know. He said it might not be him, but just thank you, Tanya, for saying this. Statistically, you're absolutely right. The stats, the numbers don't lie. People can lie, numbers don't lie. You're absolutely right, correct. Yeah, and thank you for saying this. I do agree with you on this, Marissa. Is calling that a relationship or a boyfriend is giving any kind of legitimacy to something that should not be legitimate, that none of us should be okay with. And I'm so glad that you guys are saying this, because that has been the consensus of a lot of people. A lot of the younger people, I noticed this just by observation when I've been reporting on this. A lot of people don't see what's wrong with this. I see it, right? A lot of us see it. So yeah, I agree, that we can't give this any, what's the word? Legitimacy by saying that they are partners. She was a minor. She was groomed in that situation. It's kind of like when there's a big content creator here who interviews child prostitutes. Children in prostitution should not be in the same sentence. That would be child abuse, right? So we have to be very careful with that. You said Interscope has so much money and power. I do wonder about what they're going to do with the Interscope situation. I'm not sure how to put this, but personally, I think this might be a bad grape. Okay. You're going to have to say more. Yeah, Lace and Chains, you already know. How I feel about that channel.
And it's facing right down the front of the car. So anybody coming to the front of that car will get viewed pretty clearly, as you can see. And then there's cameras on each side of the car and the rear of the car too.
Melissa, how many days passed from, let's just go with the last time she was sighted in August to the day that her body was discovered?
I believe it was about 11 days.
11 days. Okay. Dr. Kendall Crowns is joining me, Chief Medical Examiner, Tarrant County, that's Fort Worth. He is an esteemed lecturer at the Burnett School of Medicine at TCU, and he is now the star of a hit podcast, Mayhem in the Morgue.
Okay.
Dr. Crowns.
I don't want to hear Dr. Crowns, but shout out to Nancy Grace, and, y'all let me know what you guys think about Nancy Grace. I do want to get to some other tweets that I saw SF kind of put out there because I thought that they were important. But SF investigates. Here it is. He said, it appears the service for Celeste is not today. The funeral home does not show one scheduled either. There you go. Hopefully it's tomorrow. The date on the GoFundMe appears to be changed until tomorrow. I really hope that these generous funds are being used to give her a beautiful service that she deserves. I just noticed that after the money was raised, the title of the GoFundMe changed from Help Lay Celeste Rivas Hernandez to Rest to Help Celeste Rivas Hernandez Family. I don't like that. I hope this girl isn't failed again. People donated to lay her to rest. Please use all the funds for that. Start a separate GoFundMe for the family assistance. I'm still trusting that they're doing the right thing in their daughter's name. I hope so, but let me tell you. So they raised more. They had requested $20,000 and they raised more than 22,000 or more than that, probably 24. That's what that one looks like. I don't like that at all. Somebody said, I hate to be the person, but I don't have total faith that her family will do the right thing. Celeste deserves a real chance in life, and I can't help but feel like she might have had one if her family truly cared for and protected the way that she should have. If chances they're misappropriating funds while claiming it's for memorial, that says everything we need to know. Steve even said, I'm starting to have my own concerns. And then the service is not the day that they're saying that the service is going to be. What do you guys think? I'm sorry. I'm trying to process that even a little bit more because to me it's like, y'all, I know that I am not the people that know me know that I don't like to think the worst of people. I really don't. But I know that money can bring a different side to people. But I also, like I said, what I said. I said, listen, the public isn't asking for an open casket or anything like that. They're not asking at all for that. If they donated, they were touched by the situation, and they're asking for at least a good service for her. 20,000 is enough money for that, if that makes sense, in my opinion, my understanding. Funerals are very, very expensive. But I don't like that. I don't like how that sits either at all. We haven't gotten a statement from the parents at all. What do you guys think? Did you catch the colonel who cited her? No, I did not. I wanted to attend the service, but I understand if they want to keep it private. I can understand that. I feel like that they do have to have something, maybe like a balloon release or something like that, to allow people to, participate in something. GoFundMe won't release the funds to the family unless they provide proof of service. They do investigate thoroughly, says Soul Power. I didn't know that. I've never had to have asked, thank God, for any kind of service like that or any GoFundMe. I thought they raised 20, I think they're at 24,000, Nicole. That's what I think. Huh? Hold up. What is this? Somebody made a website. Thank you for the person that emailed me. Oh, Lord have mercy. We'll have to look at this in a minute. Okay. Y'all be sending me stuff and I'm like, oh my God, I have to be careful because I can't always show everything. Oh, is this you right here? Thank you, Joe. Thank you, appreciate it. I'll check it out. And thank you for the $5. Maybe she told David that she was pregnant and he tipped out. Well, we know that she wasn't pregnant because at least that's what the coroner says. GoFundMe will take a percentage, but something ain't right with the cousins fundraising. Who is the GoFundMe under? I think people, like I said, people are allowed to ask questions. Okay, now wait a minute. We got a little bit of narrative and it's in Spanish. Como muchos saben, Celeste Rivas Hernández ha sido identificada como el cuerpo hallado la semana pasada. Era una querida hija, hermana, prima y amiga. Su familia está desconsolada y devastada por esa tragedia, pérdida. Agradecemos enormemente cualquier donación. La familia Rivas Hernández. So it basically says, as many of you guys know, Celeste Rivas Hernandez was identified as the body, el cuerpo hallado, as the body found the weekend prior. She was a daughter, a sister, a cousin, and a friend. The family is devastated for this tragedy and loss. We give thanks for anyone and their donations. Update. And then it says it in English. Thank you to everyone who's gracious enough to donate. The family is incredibly grateful. God bless you. And then it says in Spanish, gracias a todos los que tuvieron la amabilidad de donar. La familia está increíblemente agradecidos. Que Dios los bendiga. Basically saying, thank you so much for your donations. May God bless you. That's all it says. And the GoFundMe looks like this was 5 hours ago. 24,843. He says on the web version, it says today. The mobile version says tomorrow. Very strange. Yeah, so the service is listed on the web for today. Hold up. Maybe time difference? That's interesting. I don't know, man. This is so okay. Well, I mean, I hope that they use the funds for what they said that they were going to use them. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe time zones. Oh my God, Tennessee, thank you so much for the $2. You're a queen, sister. I love you. You keep it real. Thank you, guys. I try to keep it cute. You guys know I get trolled a lot. But I really do appreciate you guys being supportive in the chat. Thank you. And like I said, you guys are entitled to your opinion, man. I'm not here to change your mind about anything. So thank you guys for keeping it cute in the chat. Yeah, people should just show up. To what, though? What if there is no service? They said it was supposed to be today. Maybe it's tomorrow. We'll find out, I guess. We'll find out. How are you going to free David when he hasn't been charged with anything? Y'all see what I'm saying? How are you freeing David when he hasn't been, like, don't do that. I mean, you're literally putting a crime. He hasn't been charged with anything yet. Dios mío. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Shout out to you, Kevin. Okay. Esmeralda Lozano. Esmeralda or Esmeralds Lozano is charge of the GoFundMe. Interesting. I know we get trolled all the time. Yes, free him. Free him from many demons. Thank you, Itzel. How dare they or he tell Celeste family that she said perhaps early August. Yes, that's the thing, is that if there is no service, there's going to be a lot of angry people. I would agree with that. I don't think that they understand. This is the internet. Okay? This is the internet. Let me show you guys. Joe, hold up. Joe, I want to make sure I say your name correctly. Very careful, because I don't want to give any identifying information. Flojo TV just sent me this email. Now I gotta be careful, because what the heck is that? Who would? Somebody did a website, thedavidfiles.com. Early September 2025, abandoned Tesla. David's Tesla was abandoned and subsequently impounded at a Hollywood impound lot. Now, I don't see any ads, which means that they're probably, I don't know if they're getting paid for this website, but this is kind of weird. It's like a timeline. I don't know what to make of this. Oh, we got to get into this Tesla key here, because SF said something about that Tesla key. See, even he's saying, or this person on October 4th, not a murder suspect. Police have confirmed with X. Is this drama alert? It took me to drama alert. When I hit the link, it went straight here. And then it says right here, misleading. Authorities are reportedly not seeking a person of interest or suspect at this point in investigation, since the cause of death not yet determined by a medical examiner. This does not mean David is not a murder suspect. Girl, I don't know what to make of this. So when I hit the link, it led me to Drama Alert, which I think is isn't it Keemstar who runs Drama Alert? I could be wrong. Wearing bracelets. So basically all the information that was on Reddit and everywhere else, people have put up here. Whoever runs this website, it's like all the receipts. I don't know who the owner of this website is. I mean, to do a website like this is just, wow. That's my thought on that. Wow. Hold up, y'all. I want to go back to SF real quick. Give me 1 second, because we got to go. This is crazy, guys. Oh man, how come I can't find it? Here it is. Okay. Let me show you guys. Not that. Not this. Hold up. Where's the other page that I just had? So what happens when I have too many so according to the GoFundMe, says Rivas Family Service, this was 23 hours ago. He said, it's touching to see how the public stepped up and helped meet the $25,000 donation goal for her funeral. That money will provide for a very, very beautiful service that Celeste deserves. I can't imagine the month or possibly months she spent crammed into the frunk of a Tesla, treated like literal garbage by whoever put her there. How kind of all those donors to ensure she receives a dignified and memorial farewell. I did notice that the donor list did not include David Interscope Records. Oh, I love it when SF is like spicy, or Josh. Other notable people who were around her. I suppose it's too late in the game to expect a little less, to expect little class. My thoughts will be with Celeste, her family, and everyone else around her. And he did share that GoFundMe. Now, this was 23 hours ago, and then he posted, like, where's the service? Sorry, guys. I didn't show you this. This is what I just read 23 hours ago. And then that's when he gave us the update after that. Hold up. Now he goes into the key, the Tesla key that was found near the house. Hashtag David and Celeste Rivas Hernandez were staying at might not even be for David's Tesla. Where it was found was far from the entry to the house. In fact, past the house itself. There are also other Teslas that are parked where the key was. Where the key was found, as you can see in the Google Street View image attached, show the location. The key was found along with the location to the garage and the entry to the house. I don't know, y'all. I really hope, for the sake of that there's a service tomorrow. Should an Interscope comment on the matter? Hell, at least give a statement or something. I agree. I do wonder, Nanya Hernandez, if they decided to cremate because it would be difficult to hold a service like that. Did I watch? Oh Lord, no, I didn't want to watch it. I don't want to give that fathead any more clout. It's just crazy. Tanya says, thank you so much for the 5. Let's not also forget lawyers now use social media to help their clients with the public opinion or taint the jury pool in the future. He just got lawyers. This is very true, Tanya. Very, very true, my friend. You know, the court of public opinion is everything. And now that it's on social media, yeah. I agree with your statement there. And thank you again for the support. Hold up. Let me see. Yeah, you can cremate and still have a service, right? Both the neighbors indicate that the cart was damaged, and one asked about it, so that was prior to Celeste going missing. And it's not going to jump across the road. Hold up. I'm just reading some comments, guys. Trying to incorporate you guys into the conversation. Service date, possibly getting family to attend. Money donated, possibly for funeral, trauma, psychological support. GoFundMe amounts are scrutinized. Desconsolado will need emotional support. That's very true. We don't know. That's a good point. I like your comment. Yeah, you can still have a closed casket in a burial. Well, it's a lot. Like, even if that was the case, if she died of an overdose, right? Like, and maybe say if David was there or whoever was with her, they could have taken her to a hospital, right? There's a lot that could have happened in this situation. The neighbors and friends and her brothers are witnesses. We should take what they say at face value. Yeah, you can have a service without the body too. That's what I'm saying. They could do a balloon release. There's a lot of stuff that you could do in this situation that doesn't always require the body to be there. I think it's just making people feel, especially if they donated, making people feel inclusive of this situation. Now, yesterday, I played a little bit of this. This is the video that I was like, I have issues with this video. The Secret Life of Celeste. I'm like, let's not say she's got a secret life.
Have a listen.
We're out here at what we know as Celeste's home that she lived with her family. And right over there is the beautiful memorial we have seen in her honor. But today we confirmed with a neighbor that they had seen.
Are the parents even still staying there? Or is the mom, is any family at the home at this point? Because I don't think that they are. I'm saying, like, there's just so much traffic going on there. They're probably trying to, like, not be around people. They're probably somewhere else and not there. We don't know. Because I wouldn't be there if I got all this traffic coming just to get a picture of me.
A black Tesla coming in and out at all hours in the night. We can confirm it was when Celeste was still here and that it was near her home. Her home is right here. And the area that the black Tesla was seen was over in this vicinity. There's a parking lot in this area back there, and then there's also street parking. So we were told in this vicinity is where the black Tesla was spotted. Now we cannot confirm that that was actually David's black Tesla, and we can't confirm that Celeste was ever seen going into it, but we can confirm that the neighbor spotted it near her home at all hours of the night, and we're going to keep talking to neighbors and see if we can find out more information.
So they're talking to neighbors, but then we're hearing, maybe we're getting confused with the neighbors. Maybe they're talking about the neighbors at the Hollywood Hills. The neighbors at Celeste's home, they're saying that this is what it was like. They saw a Tesla, police, yada, yada, yada.
And to get closer to see what happened to Celeste.
As you'll know if you've been following our coverage on a regular basis. And you know what? We've got a playlist that will get you up to speed, all of the timelines and the background and everything.
It's a lot. Hold up. Now, let me see. Does she bring in, because there was another, here it is. This is the other footage that I did not watch yesterday, and I will react with you guys right now since we're live.
Here's my News Nation producer, Courtney Kolinsky, who spoke with those kids today.
So we talked to a student that went to school with Celeste, and she did confirm that Celeste showed a few classes.
When was the last time Celeste went to school, given that she was a runaway? That's the question that I have that I feel like a lot of people are not answering. So if you talk to a student that went with Celeste, like, what's the time frame? Give us a time frame.
It's photos of her and David. She said that she was in a relationship with the singer David, and she wasn't shy about telling the few people in this classroom that she had a relationship with David, and even showed photos of him. Now, this is the little bit of information that we've actually been able to get, and we have talked to over 100 students. We have asked them if they knew Celeste, if they've seen Celeste. A lot of the students have confirmed they went to middle school with Celeste. They knew of Celeste. They heard she went missing. A lot of people said, I remember her beautiful curls.
Oh man. But it's like a lot of kids, right? Daddy's baby girl, thank you so much for being a member. Ooh, girl, you okay? Give me one sec, guys. I'm gonna have to sign her for gym or something. She's got so much energy. Thank you, baby, daddy's baby girl. Oh, Sorry, I said I would need it. I need it because she's always doing acrobats and jumping. And anyways, let me stop. I need to sign her up for some gym or something like that for Baby Bunny. She's doing the most. No, hold up, y'all. She calmed down. Daddy's baby girl, thank you for being a member for 11 months. Longer than 11, but thanks for all that you do. Thank you, love. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
But out of all of those people, nobody, besides the one thing I just said, nobody really knew Celeste. They just didn't know her personally. Even the parents, a couple of the parents would see her, but nobody knew her family. Nobody knew her personally that we've talked to that were at the school.
David has not been charged with anything. He is not a suspect. He is not even a person of interest. But that does not mean that he's not preparing to be one. Earlier on my News Nation show, Banfield.
So, okay, hold up. Sorry, because I want to go back. What did she say? They knew of her?
I've confirmed they went to middle school with Celeste. They knew of Celeste. They heard she went missing. A lot of people said, I remember her beautiful curls. But out of all of those people, nobody, besides the one thing I just said, nobody really knew Celeste. They just didn't know her personally. Even the parents, a couple of
they didn't really know her, but they knew of her. I mean, that's typical for like school, right? You know her, you see her, but you don't know of her.
The parents would see her, but nobody knew her family. Nobody knew her personally that we've talked to that were at the school.
David has not been charged with anything. He
Interesting.
is not a suspect. He is not even a person of interest.
But here's the deal. If we're saying, this is why, and I keep saying, if the people are saying that this body was dismembered, again, that's a separate charge. Okay? So this is why it's important that you're having all of this be repeated. A body doesn't dismember itself unless, she's passed away and it's a natural process. But very, very interesting how they're using words and how they're kind of going back and forth. It's a little bit crazy. I have a feeling you said it was at her place, that she died at her place, and somehow she winded up in the trunk of the Tesla. And thank you, Daddy's baby girl. I kept reading your comment over and over because Baby Bunny was doing the most. Yo, I don't even know. In my opinion, yes. But I'm waiting for them to be, has he been cleared formally? People are saying that he has. I haven't seen law enforcement say it. I don't know, man. We're going to be on this still. And we still going to be reporting on this, whether they like it or not. I'm still going to be on this because I still feel like there's so much more to this that we don't know. I really do appreciate you guys sending me information. Thank you so much. Just, be mindful that some of the stuff, if it's already repeated, I'm not going to talk about it again. I'm trying my best to at least go to the latest of what's updated on social media, which is, we're getting to the nitty gritty of things. Hey, Too Persuasive, how are you, my love? Shout out to everybody that's covering this story. I think everybody's got a different input to this, but we're going to be on it. Now, tomorrow, I do have the Diddy sentencing transcripts, so we're going to be live on that tomorrow. I got to read them. I'm tired, y'all. But you know what? We'll find out. Is tomorrow going to be the service or not? Because apparently it was for today. Is tomorrow going to be the service? We're going to be on it. Let me know, if I have to go live later on about whether the service, I hope it does happen. If you guys are in the area, and I know some of you guys watch me from over there, shoot me an email and say, hey, the service happened, because we're going to be on it. I believe, don't be scared, my love. Okay, my honey. I believe that if you're asking for public funds, then you should provide something, but that's just my thought on that. I will see you guys tomorrow. All right. You guys have a great night. Bye, guys. And thank you for those that supported tonight. Really do appreciate it. It means a lot. Thank you. Say bye. Baby Bunny says bye. Say good night. It's my night time. All right. Bye, guys. Have a good one.